So bless me and welcome on one of the top players past year in the MAC. He was on the All MAC second team. Buffalo star Jeenathan Williams. How you doing, man?
How you doing? How you doing?
Pretty good. Well, take us to this year. Obviously, you guys would rather be in the tournament right now, but overall, personally, you still had a pretty solid team. But you personally, as I said, second team All MAC, 18 points a game, 7 rebounds. How do you feel about the year?
I had a good year. It's more work to be done. We always want to win.
Mhm.
So I'm just looking forward to next year and getting the MAC championship and playing in the tournament.
At the end of the day, obviously, this year was kind of crazy with the whole COVID protocols. Obviously, having a lot of different things you got to go through, testing, mask wearing all the time. Like, what was this year like adjusting to the COVID year?
It took a lot of discipline. You can't live the way you usually live. Like you can't go out, you can't do none of that. Like you really got to be just locked in. I mean, it was the best for me because I mean that's already my mindset. Like just locking in, honing in on basketball, and
Mhm.
just focusing on details and just being a better player, watching a lot of film, just doing whatever I can to make myself better.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to get into this junior year and pretty much your whole college career in a second, but let's kind of go back to the story. Obviously, you're staying home, so you're from New York, Rochester. Take us through that. What was it like growing up out there?
It was tough, you know what I'm saying? I grew up, I really didn't have much, you know what I'm saying? My
Mhm.
mom worked a lot, my dad worked a lot, you know, did whatever to make ends meet. But, basketball helped me get out of the environment I was in.
Mhm.
And now things are going a little better for myself.
Obviously, that's what a lot of people always say. I mean, basketball can be a kind of out for a lot of different things for anyone in different situations, but how big has that been a role in you? Like, how big has basketball helped you throughout your life, both just staying on the right track, but also just kind of ask something else to do? Like, how big of an impact has basketball had in your life?
Basketball really like is my life. You know what I'm saying? I say that and I mean it. Like without basketball, like we wouldn't even be on this Zoom call right now. Honestly, I
Hmm.
don't know where I'd be without basketball. Like it steered me in the right direction, helped me just like figure out myself and what I really want to be in life.
And in the New York area, we know that that's one of the meccas of basketball. We know all over the state of New York, all over New Jersey too, Philadelphia, some of those places too. But we know overall New York's just known for basketball. It's really where some of the really originated and kind of evolved out there. What's like just
Right.
kind of growing up in that atmosphere, just really being a basketball state.
Um, it was nice, like always, cause me, I always played at like the parks in my neighborhood, and you
Hmm.
know how the parks get, like especially in the summertime, like it's live. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, like in my neighborhood, like on Tacoma Ave, like whoever from Rochester watch this, they know like it's only one half of a court, so it's one court. So it's
Hmm.
like we used to play 3-on-3, and then everybody used to like come around and just they used to bet on games and stuff like that. Like and I was as like a young and I was like 12, so that's what I always grew up. It made me tough, you know what I'm saying? Like it just made me have to work on my game every day and just because you want to win and you want to be better than the next man. So it just made you come with it every day, have that dog in you.
I think New York's one of the very few areas that still have that, where a lot of guys are typically playing at the open runs, maybe at a gym somewhere or playing club, whatever it might look like. You guys obviously get that feel. You guys are playing the street ball. You guys get to play with your the
Right.
way it kind of like you say, it really creates that toughness. It's not organized completely basketball. I mean, it's still obviously
Mm-hmm.
basketball, but how much did that kind of develop you, and how did that kind of give you the dog mentality you have?
That really played a big role because like me and my friends, we just played every day. In the summer, we used to play till the sun went down. Like in our court, ain't really had no lights, so we still used to play though, even when it was dark. And we used to just play all day, every day. Concrete, blood, sweat, and tears, fighting out there, all that. We used to just play, and that really helped me become the player that I am today. That's why I'm back down from nothing.
Is there one game you kind of look back and you remember that you're never gonna forget about that you play on the street ball games?
Um, yeah. I was like 14. I was playing. My dad was playing too. It was at a park called Cobb's Hill, and I was just dunking. I was doing everything. I was dominating. It was grown men though. It
Hmm.
was grown men. I was dominating, talking trash, like, and everybody like from that moment on, like everybody in my city like respect me. You know what I'm saying? Like I walk around and everybody know who I am. They respected that because I was a youngin and I always held my own wherever I hooped at. Yeah.
I know there's times, I know it's mostly more towards like the Dykeman areas and all that, but have you ever gone up against NBA guys? Like, have anyone kind of come back, or even college guys come back and played you when you're younger?
Not really, because I mean, where I'm from is like not too many people that made the NBA. Now we got a couple guys in the NBA, but
Mm-hmm.
like we had older guys like Glenn Hagan and stuff like that. Like I used to go to his camp, like and stuff like that. But like nah, we ain't really had. We had a lot of overseas pros though,
Mm-hmm.
like overseas guys that come back like, and come hoop with us at McQuaid. But really, that was like in high school. Like growing up though, like I was just in the neighborhood just playing basketball. Yeah.
You personally, do you like the organized basketball, obviously the one you're playing today, like collegiate basketball, even AAU, high school basketball more, or did you like the street ball more?
That's a great question. Honestly, I feel like I'm gonna go with the street ball. It's tougher, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's tougher. It make you have that edge. It make you just wanna. Like, you can relieve your stress for real. Like you can talk trash. You can, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you can be physical, and it just make you work on your game. Like you gotta have moves. Like you can't just be out there. Like can't be simple. You gotta have some finesse to your game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everyone I have that have grown up in New York that's played street ball, they always say there's that adjustment time where it's kind of struggling sometimes. You know, you can get away with a lot more fouls, you can trash talk,
Right.
stuff you can't
Right.
really do when you step on a normal court. Did you take time to
Yeah.
adjust, and did you have to learn how to adjust to not being able to trash talk or say some of the stuff you said out on the court, or not be as physical when you play like organized games?
Nah, cause now I'm at a point where it's like I'm very humble. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't like to talk a lot, like on the court. Like, I might say some slick stuff, but I don't like when I'm cooking, when I'm hooping, I don't really say too much unless another guy talking. Like I might say something to him like after I get a bucket, but I don't really talk too much on the court. I just hoop and play my game, let my work do the talking. Yeah.
Is there a guy you've gone up against, whether it be through any of your games or even at practices at Buffalo, that you kind of gone up against that they have that trash talk in them and they kind of get you to kind of trash talk with them a
Yeah.
couple times?
Every day. Rondo Segu. Every day, yeah, every day. You know, whenever, like in practice, when we not on the same team, he
Mhm.
try to come talking trash to me, and I go to killing them, and I'm talking trash, telling them to get on the line, run. You know, vice versa though, vice versa.
No doubt. Let's get into the high school career a little bit because you really grew up and you had a big presence. You're a top 100 recruit and you really dominated for 3 years out there, especially your junior year. We go out there 22, 7, and 5 average for the year. Take us to your high school career a little bit, though.
um, it was fun, you know. It was the best like time where you could just play basketball and not really worry about like nothing. Like you ain't worry about your coach. Like you just worried about winning the game and having fun. Like it was the time where it's like everybody come together. You're not worried about stats. You're not worried about none of that. You just out there hooping, having a great time. Yeah.
When you're in the New York area and you have a big, large and larger profile you started getting where people start to know you, was that more pressure on you? And how are you kind of able to accept that pressure?
It wasn't pressure because I mean, I'm like I told you, I always been humble
Mm,
because I know what I come from. So and my mom always preached me to be humble. So it was no pressure. I just looked at it as like, you know, I didn't even notice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I still lived in the same area I lived in all my life. So it was just like I was just the same kid. Like I didn't know like the real presence I had until people started like asking me to take pictures and stuff. Like little kids that asked for an autograph or something like that. Like, but other than that, I ain't really noticed.
Take us to that first day. I know everyone that when they start getting a little more famous, the guys want a picture with them. I know some guys always like, love those moments. Like, what was that first story you have of someone asking for an autograph or picture?
Um, I was at like this basketball camp for my coach, and there was this kid with autism. He asked me for a picture. Yeah, that was a really like good moment for me. It was big. Yeah, I was like that was nice for me. I like that a lot. Like that
Mhm.
picture made his day, so I was really happy for that one.
I know basketball wasn't your only sport. You also were a football player. How were
Yeah.
you able to balance those two sports?
Oh, it was. I don't know. Like that football was like the first thing I ever played though. Like
Mhm.
my family, all football family, so like it came natural. Honestly, like I always love football. Like playing wide receiver was fun. Like I started at quarterback, but once I started blowing up with basketball, I didn't want to play quarterback no more because I didn't want to get hurt, like, in football season. So I just moved to wide receiver and I just did my thing at receiver. Yeah, it was fun, really fun. It was cool. It wasn't really hard balancing, though. In high school, it's not as intense as college, so it wasn't hard.
Obviously, you have the size and the body to be able to play football, even if you really want to today. Obviously, you have to add some different things to your game, but overall, we know you are one of the bigger basketball players out there, strength-wise. Have you ever considered that, though? Like, did you ever think about possibly playing football at the college level? Was that ever something you just consider for that at the college level?
Nah, I left it alone.
Mm-hmm.
After my junior year, I just left it alone. I told myself like I wasn't gonna play no more. I miss it though all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I miss it, but like I knew I wasn't gonna play in college. I always just wanted to play basketball, chase my dream, making it to the NBA.
Following that big junior season for you, you make the move over to California. Obviously, much different lifestyle in terms of just where you're living. Obviously, California's a lot better weather. We got the snowstorms and all that out there in New York. What led that transition, though? You got out to prolific prep, and this is before it really became as big as it is today. But what led that transition? Why did you want to go to the other coast?
It was just the best situation for me. You know what I'm saying? My mom, when she heard California, like she was like, "Oh yeah, you gone? Get me out of the environment I was in, and not only that, just started like make connections. Just be in another place. Like it was just a better situation for me. I feel like, and my family felt like so. Like like prevent any mistakes or anything bad happening. Like moving out there, I feel like it was the best thing for me.
I said that wasn't the team that we all see today. Obviously, they had Josh Jackson. They're a great chance. Some of those guys didn't pass that. Were great players, but they weren't. They didn't have the Geico running season that they had last year, and then this year another Geico potential run. What was their pitch though? Do you like? How does it all come to be?
One of the guys, like a mentor to me, named Kevin Shepard. He hooked it up. I told him I wanted to go prep. I wanted to leave. Like I wanted to go get out of Rochester. I felt like the competition wasn't good enough. So he was like, I told him I wanted to play national. He was like, oh yeah, that's perfect. That's what the plan was for you. Anyway, we was thinking about it, and then he was like, I got a call from Prolific. They like your EYBL stats. They like the way you play. They watch your film, and they want to give you a shot. And then I talked to Philippe Doherty and Billy McKnight, and then we just was talking. They was saying how I can be an NBA player, got the potential. They can turn me, like they can work on my jump shot, stuff like that. And that's what the conversation really, they love like my efficiency on the offensive end and how long I was and build me into a defender and stuff like that. And that's what really happened. That's how it went.
I'm a huge advocate for the prep route. I think if you're in areas like New York can be an area, New Jersey, Atlanta, Dallas, a couple different areas out there. Like if you're in that area, you can still make it. You could still be some competition, but still the prep route at the end of the day, you're playing against other Division I players every single game, as well as the top guys every single day. How that really developed you though? Because it was only for 1 year, but just how much did you grow in that 1 year?
Oh yeah, I grew a lot. That was the best. Like I said, that was one of the best decisions I made in my life because, like I said, I was playing against Division I players every day, and we played great competition that senior year, and it was fun. Like we won games. We had a good season. I had a good season. It was good. It was good.
And you were able to be a part of the grind session too, as it's continuing to grow as well. And that is obviously where all the top guys come together and play each other in really season format. What was it like being part of that?
Oh yeah, that was big.
Mm-hmm.
That was big. Played against some of the best, like some of the top players in the country that year. Mm-hmm. So that was good. Showcasing my talent on that level. That was something that like I never forget. I remember those days forever.
You guys were one of the top teams. Another one was Bella Vista. They had a guy like Terry Armstrong out there. What was that matchup like though? Obviously he was kind of around your position. What was it like playing against him?
Playing against him, he's very athletic, but we beat them twice. Mm-hmm. I had pretty good games both times we played them, so I feel like we, had the better end of the matchup. But nah, he's a good player though. He's a good player.
What would you say was your favorite matchup from the grind session? Like, was there one guy you'd love going up against, like one-on-one?
Yeah, when we played against Cam Reddish, that was a good matchup. But we smacked them though. Yeah, that was a good matchup though. That's fun.
At that same point, going through this recruiting process, obviously it's your senior year and you're looking at all the schools you have. You end up going through a lot of big time schools you had available for yourself. What led to your obviously decision? You go to back home to Buffalo, but like I said, Virginia Tech, Syracuse, which also would have been home. Like a lot of schools
Right.
in the mix for you, Minnesota. Why was Buffalo able to beat them all out?
Honestly, I just wanted to show kids from my city and my neighborhood, like it's possible. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I could have went to a big school and still been good. You know, I still would have been good. I work hard, but I just wanted to show kids like it's possible to do, like regardless. Like Buffalo, like you see Buffalo, like you feel like you can accomplish that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not something too big, too small. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a worth goal. You know what I'm saying? That's what I visioned, and I was like, if I can show that it's possible to make it out of here, maybe I inspire a couple others.
At the same time, you are returning home, which obviously has to be fun. I mean, you get to go and represent in front of your hometown. People, all your family
Right.
come out and watch you. What has that been like,
Mhm.
just having your family support and the community support around you there?
Yeah, my dad, that's another big piece. He used to come to all my games. Even when I was in Cali, he tried his best to even come to Kentucky when we played. He came a couple times. So like he's one of that's my top supporter. So
Mhm.
like, it's always fun playing with him in the stands. I love seeing his face in the stands. That's my superhero right there, my guy. So yeah.
I think a lot of people have been seeing this, and those that truly know basketball know that the mid majors are almost like a high major in terms of if you're good at a mid major level, you can make it to the NBA. It's countless
Right,
times, and not just make it. We see majority of the stars today are even from mid majors. But
right.
keep that mentality because a lot of the guys that just are general fans or just overall fans of teams may not see that and understand that. How are you able to kind of accept that? And you go to a school that is a mid major and you can become
Right.
pro at it. Like, take us through your mindset of taking that mid major route.
At first, I didn't know about like colleges and then like I knew Power Five, obviously I knew
Mhm.
high major, but I didn't really know the mid major level of college. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know how good it was, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So when like my freshman year, I really didn't play. So I watched and I'm like, oh, these guys are really good. Like it's some guys out there that really have a chance to play in the league, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of just made me want to like work really hard, and because I knew like the sky was the limit. Like once I seen it, like I'm like, oh yeah, I can do the same thing. I just, opportunity, and I just knew like I wasn't ready yet. It was I was killing in practice, but I mean it's a different. You know what I'm saying? Guys that been there for 3-4 years, and a freshman coming in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a difference. So like I watched it, and now I work. And
Mhm.
now I'm on the right path. I just got to keep continuing to work and stay on the right path, stay out of trouble, stuff like that.
Personally, I think for this year's upcoming draft, I mean, no one's really declared yet, so we don't know exactly. But I think we all know Jason
Mm-hmm.
Preston's probably the best guy, especially at your conference, to have a pro opportunity next year. But there's a
Yeah,
few different guys. But like when you talk about that mentality, being a mid-major player, why do we see guys like Damian Lillard? Why do we see guys like Steph Curry? Why do we see Clay? All these different guys that have done this now at the mid-major level become so successful at the next level? Like, what does the mid-major kind of give you mentality-wise to have that become the outcome?
that chip, that chip on the shoulder, because it make you want to prove people wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like like we all know all the high major guys, like they get love, and we feel like the mid major guys, they feel like we get snubbed because like we killing just as much as them, and we don't get the same love. You know what I'm saying? So like I feel like that's what it is. Like you want to prove to everybody that like I can do the same thing that he doing at this level too. It don't matter. Like obviously we know there's better talent in the high major level.
Mhm.
We got bigger players,
Right.
more athletes, but like I feel like the mid-major level is really slept on. I'm be
Mhm.
honest, but people are starting to see now. Like there's a lot of more NBA guys coming out of the mid-major level, and
Mhm.
there's more top guys starting to go to mid-majors.
Yep. Now he hasn't announced his decision yet, but obviously we know the number two player in country or in the top five, Patrick Baldwin. There's a high chance it could be going mid-major, going to playing with his dad. If there's a guy like that, we say a guy that's already going to be a bona fide top five, top 10 pick potentially in a draft. If he
Right.
doesn't go mid-major, what will that impact have on the mid-major community?
That's big. That's really big.
Mm-hmm.
Top two player in the country go to a mid-major.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough right there. That tells you a lot. That tells you a lot. a big fish in a small pond. He
Mhm.
still eat.
Out of all the guys you have gone up against now in 3 years, who would you say has been one or even maybe a couple of those mid-major guys that you're like, okay, this guy's legit. He's gonna probably pan at the next level.
I want to say Lauren Christian for my acting. He's really good. I ain't gonna lie. His game, like, I don't know if he's gonna play in the NBA because of his size. He might get a chance, but like he's a good, like he reads the floor really well. He can score at all levels. Like he's a 4-level scorer. Like he can shoot it from deep. He can shoot mid-range pull-ups.
Mm-hmm.
He get in the lane. Got good touch. He a good player. I ain't gonna lie. He nice.
One other guy I mentioned earlier, you have a guy like Jason Preston, obviously, that he can score, but we know he's probably one of the best passers, in my opinion, the
Yeah,
best
yeah,
passer in
yeah.
the country. What's it like playing against him?
Oh yeah, he's a good decision maker.
Mm-hmm.
You can scout him good, but he got size, so that's what helps him. Like he got size, he got touch, he can shoot it a little bit. Got to get out there on him, and that his passing ability that keep you on your toes. It
Mm-hmm.
kind of make you forget about what he can do, like on the offensive end, like scoring wise, because he always looking to pass. So when he started to be aggressive, it kind of puts you on your heels. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the other guy is Turner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Turner is really good. He's really good. Yeah.
No doubt. Well, let's go back in this recruiting process a little bit because you do choose Buffalo. And at the time, you have Coach Nate Oats, which we all see now as clearly one of the better coaches and up and coming coaches in the entire country. He's doing incredible things out there at Alabama. But you get to be around him first of all, and you get him for the first year too. What was he just
Right.
like? Kind of talk about you guys bonding your relationship with him.
He called me every day,
Mm-hmm.
all the time. He came out to California to see me. He even rebounded for me. That's my guy. He's a good guy. He's a great guy. He's a man of his word. He loves to win. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing about him. He gonna find a way to win. See how he doing at Alabama. He turned the program around. So that's one thing. He gonna find a way to win. And he's a coach. I love him because he's a player development coach. Like he loves guys being in the gym, getting shots up. Like it's been practices where like all we did was really like shoot threes. Like really, like just shoot. Because he's big on making shots. Like he's a player development coach. I like that about him. Yeah.
We'll talk about your freshman season in a second, but fast forward a little bit. We know, as I said, he takes the Alabama job. And a lot of guys today, we know at the transfer portal, everyone wants to transfer these days, especially when there's a coaching change. What led you to want to stay there? Obviously, you and Ronaldo did too, but like, why did you decide to stay even though the coaching change?
Because we knew Whitesell.
Mm-hmm.
That freshman year, he kind of like took us under his wing and developed us really. Like he developed us. He gave us opportunity. Like he'll be like, put them in, put the freshmen in, put them in. Like he'll tickle Oats with that thought. You know what I'm saying? So he always like he just was trusting in us. He always every day after practice made us work on our defense, made us work just on our game. Period. Like he just stayed on us every day. So like with that type of like person on your shoulder, like is really good. Like, you can trust that, you know what I'm saying? So I trusted him, Rondo trusted him, and now we having good careers at Buffalo.
Yeah, when Coach Oates made the transition, did you expect him to make that transition? Was it kind of shocking to you? Did he talk to you guys before he announced it? Like, take us through that whole process when you learned that he was going to move over to Alabama.
Yeah, we were kind of like shocked. We were kind of hurt, especially me and Doe, because me and Doe, we was highly recruited. So like we was just like, dang, like, we could have went somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then waste our time, but it all panned out. It all panned out in the long run. I guess it was meant to happen.
Now, that original recruiting class, though, obviously you and Doe, but you also had another guy just really create a big name for himself, Javion Hamlet. Discuss you guys, like, how special was that recruiting class?
That was tough. That was really tough. That was a good job by Coach Brian. Brian Heisen. It was a good job from him. He do his thing with recruiting good guys. Like he find guys that's under the radar that people don't really know about. That he know, like he can see talent. That's one thing about him. He can see talent. Like so he's good at that. That's one thing he's really good at.
Don't get me wrong. Obviously, Coach Oates is an incredible coach, but I don't think, like you said, Coach Brian does not get the attention he really deserves to. Because, like you said, he somehow managed to pull together guys out of nowhere. Like Alabama,
Yeah,
they weren't really that good, as good as this year, obviously last
right,
year, and he brought
right.
together all these top recruits. Did that obviously at Buffalo. Like, how is he able to win you guys over there? Like, what's his recruiting pitch to you? Like, how does he recruit?
He gets your trust. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a trustworthy guy. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like he's one of those guys that just like he really develops a relationship with you. Like he talks to your family, he talks to you, and he talks to you like not too like professional. You know what I'm saying? He talks to you like big brother type talk. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So he win you over with that. Like he win you over with the big brother talk. Like he's like I said, he's trustworthy. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that's big for like recruiters. Like you got to be somebody you can trust, and like you got to really develop that relationship. I feel like he do a good job with that.
So that freshman year, obviously, it probably wasn't your dream scenario. You could only play, but you played
Yeah.
every single game, but it's not obviously starting. You only get so many minutes,
Right.
3 points,
Yeah.
2 rebounds. What was that year though? Like, how would you feel about that? Like, just take us to that freshman campaign.
It was. I ain't gonna lie. It was stressful, but at the same time, now that I look back at it, it was like a blessing because I got to watch all these good players play at a high level on
Yep.
a highly ranked team. We was top 25 in the country the whole year. So like that was that was tough. Like I got to watch that and see it and be a part of it. It wasn't like I wasn't a part of it. Like and that was like a big learning experience for me and Doe. Like it showed us how to like really really win at the next level of college. Like it showed us like what it takes. Like we seen the extra work that they put in, the extra shots, like the team pickups where nobody skipped, the whole team is there. Like we seen how that camaraderie was built. Like we was a part of it. So
Mhm.
that it was just nice to be a part of.
And don't get me wrong, obviously, when guys are all these guys transferring, they all have their own reasons. I respect that and all, but a lot of guys, if they play their freshman year, especially when you're a highly touted player coming in, like the guys might want to transfer out if they didn't get the right opportunity they want. But
Right.
you kind of looked at that with the positive landscape, like how can I get better from this? And you get to go to the
Yeah.
NCAA tournament, you get to learn, okay, this is how it gets done. This is a job. This is what it takes to reach that level, as well as just work on your craft at practice. What
Yeah.
kind of led to that mindset? What kind of led you to say? Because some guys will also obviously go out there and just have a bad attitude all year and complain and not really use the benefit of it. How are you able to
Right.
kind of say that and say, okay, I'm gonna get the best out of this opportunity?
Just like you said, don't complain. It's a process. Everything's a process, and like that's one thing I had to realize. Like CJ Massenberg always used to say, like, bro, it's a process. Just trust the process. Trust the process. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be good.
Hmm.
And and one day I just like stop like complaining and stuff like that. And and I just was like bought in. I just bought in. I just trained after every game, before practice, after practice. Like I just did what I had to do. Like I just worked and worked and worked. I didn't even like notice I wasn't playing no more. Like I took like the practices as games. Like it just was like I just worked and worked and worked. I just trust the process. I didn't think like, oh, like complain and do this and like moan about it. Like, I just worked and worked and just stayed quiet, cheer my teammates on. And I knew like the year was gonna be over. Like it wasn't gonna last forever. So like I just stayed persistent, I guess.
So then you head into your sophomore year, and you know that next year you're gonna have a much larger opportunity and much larger role. And I just
Right.
talked about already, Coach Whitesell comes in. What was your guys' bond though? Like, what's the difference between Coach Oates and Coach Whitesell? Like, how was his play style different than Coach Oates in terms of utilizing you? Like, talk about that transition in terms of coaching schemes.
Um, I feel like it wouldn't have been different. Like Oates would he knew I could score the ball.
Hmm.
Like they both used me in the same type of ways. I think they both would have had like, I feel like it would have been similar. But the two coaching styles is different, kind of like
Hmm.
Weissel want to play fast, Oates want to play fast, but Weissel is more defensive minded than Oates is. Like Weissel is more like, we got to get stops, which is the way it's supposed to be. But Oates is like he's defensive minded too, but his mind, if we score more points than the other team, like you know what I'm saying, like there's no way they can beat us. So
Yeah.
like, you got to get stops, but you got to score points as well. I feel like just one is more defense, one is more offense.
So that's sophomore year. You go out there, you get 12 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, block, and steal per game that year. How
Yeah.
was it kind of getting that role? Because obviously you start all but senior night that year. What was that kind of getting that whole year together and really kind of getting an opportunity finally?
It was a great learning experience. I wasn't content with the year. I mean, I felt like it was a good season, but I mean, I knew I could have been better.
Mhm.
I started off slow, you know what I'm saying? It was a big difference, you know what I'm saying? Like the team was, you know, the team wasn't as good as the previous year,
Mhm.
obviously, but you know, it was an okay season. It was fun. It was fun having a bigger role and being able to play, seeing how I feel to play 30 minutes, seeing how I feel to play 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing how I feel when you off and you still in the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
it was good to like feel that. It was big. It was like it seemed like it was like I had to learn how to be a better player. Like even when I'm not as effective on offense or even when I'm getting 20 points like that.
There are a couple different games that you really started flashing, like what's to come, the future, and obviously what you did this year. But one of those
Right.
times was 9 straight times you had 10 plus points in the sophomore year. What led to
Yeah.
that? Like, what led you finally kind of getting comfortable and scoring double digits in 9 straight games?
Um, I stopped like worrying about all the stats and like good year, bad year. I just stopped worrying about that. And I just was like honing in on just playing good basketball, making the right plays, and just staying true to my routine. That's when I really started being a routine guy, working out, like doing specific things in my workouts before practice and then specific things after practice. Yeah.
Then you guys go out to Ohio. You guys play on January 14th last year, and you have 26 points, which was your career high at
Right.
the time. What was that
Yeah.
night like, and what kind of got into you? Like, what allowed you to go out there and have 26?
I don't know. I started off, I only had 2 points in the first half. You
Mhm.
know, it it was like a rough game. I thought it was looking rough. I just stayed calm, stayed even. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, okay, second half, new game, new half. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say every second half, new game, new half. You know, that's what I say. And I went out and it was just like a new game. Like I just felt like I don't know, like nobody could guard me. Like it's just the ball was going in. Anything I shot up was going in.
And then, like everyone experienced, the pandemic sets in, and everyone goes into quarantine. All this stuff's just going down. What was your mindset though? You hear that, okay, we don't know how long, we don't know what this exactly is. We know all the confusion that happened a year ago. But how did you, as a basketball player, approach that, knowing that, okay, I know at least I'm not going to be going to basketball. I can't go to gyms and all that, at least with school for 3, 4 months at least. Like, what was your mindset heading to that?
Just get back to it any way possible. Outlet. Me and Doe was in Florida when it hit, and that was crazy because Florida was going berserk. But yeah, we was out there, and then we like the gyms closed, everything closed. So we was with his trainer Daryl Harden. So we just was working out outside. We was doing whatever. We was just trying to get it, and then we got gym access, and we was just doing that consistently. Then I was there for about 3 months. Then I went back to Cali, and I was with Lucas, my man Lucas Saleh here on the team. Um, yeah, we was just working out in Napa Christian at Prolific Gym. We just was working out there for about 4 months straight. It was just good work, like 4 workouts a day, just getting it in.
So we head in, you get back on campus eventually, and we know everything's different. You've experienced 2 full years of normal high college basketball at that point, and you head into there and you've got to wear a mask everywhere you go. You have to get tested nonstop. We know
Right.
quarantine, like all this stuff's happening throughout the course of the season. What was that like?
It it kind of got natural. Like we got used to it because you want to play, so you gonna do whatever protocol they're gonna tell you to play the game of basketball that you love. So it just got natural. We got used to it. It's kind of like a part of your life now. Like it's like you go out, have a mask, put your mask on,
Mhm.
you know, stay safe.
At the same time, though, you have another year left, at least 1 year left of college basketball. How excited you will hopefully get back out there and drop the mask and drop the testing?
I'm just excited to play. Honestly, I don't care if we got to play with masks,
Mhm.
without them. hats on our head. I don't care what we got to do. I'm just excited to be able to play the game of basketball. I'm blessed, I'm glad of the position I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
I got great friends. I got great family. I'm just happy to be where I'm at right now.
So this year really was your breakout year. You averaged nearly 18 points a game, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Take us through this past year. Like, what was this year like? Really like breaking out?
It was just I knew it was coming. I worked really hard this summer, like I told you. I worked really hard, and we was playing a lot of pickup, like high level pickup, and I was doing my thing. I was killing, so I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a big year for me. I just stayed patient. I just knew I was gonna do good. I just work hard. That's all it is. You work hard, you will be rewarded in some way. It might not be tomorrow, it might not be a year, it might not be a month, but it will come. You know what I'm saying? That's my message for it. It felt good though, but the work ain't done yet.
At what point in your career would you say it finally started clicking? Was it your sophomore, freshman, like this past year and junior year? Like, when was that point that you said, okay, I know I can be legit. I know I'm going to elite play in this conference and really in the country?
Yeah. When sophomore summer, it was like I told you, I got locked into the process. Like I wasn't worried about results. I wasn't worried about none of that. I just was worried about getting better. Like that's it. That's all I was worried about. And like I just start seeing like my shot. Like I just felt it, and it was like my shot just felt good. And I just kept working on my handles. I kept working on my finishing. And I just felt like a really good player. I was like, yeah, I feel unstoppable right now. Yeah. Had a good year.
So in that sophomore year, you have 9 straight, 10 plus. Then this past junior year, you have 9 total games of 20 plus this year. Talk
Yeah.
about that jump, because 20 points is something that you only get a couple of times in your entire career heading into this year. Then you really
Yeah.
take it to another level. You have 9 times where you really go off those games, including 2 of
Yeah.
the 2 games in the tournament. What were those games like?
Um, I mean, it's just a part of the zone. When you're in the zone, you can't be stopped. I mean, like, but it got to a point where it's like I told you, I stayed true to my routine. So I kind of expected that. Like I wasn't like, it's not like I'm going out there hunting 20 points. It's just that I know I can score the ball. You know what I'm saying? So when the opportunity come, I'm gonna score the ball. Like that's just what I'm wired to do.
The really crazy thing about this team is that obviously anyone in the country can all return because everyone has extra eligibility. But for
Right.
you guys, in terms of legalized, truly like junior, senior kind of classes, you guys have everyone except for a couple guys that could be moving on. That's under junior under. How much can this team be for next year?
Oh yeah, this team could be a tournament team.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we can make the Sweet 16 easily with this team. Everybody come back next year. You gotta play together, play team basketball, and we'll be good. Sure.
And you look across the country, and obviously, I said I think Jason's going to be going to the NBA, so Ohio probably is going to drop down quite a bit. But what are the
Yeah.
teams you really expect? Like, who's the team you think you'll be competing with? Who's the second best team that you guys are really excited to go up against for next year?
Anybody, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody in the MAC, non-conference, anybody. We don't care who it is. We coming. Honestly, I'm speaking for my team right now. We coming for blood next year. We don't like the way the season ended. We felt like we was the better team, which we was, but things happen. You know what I'm saying? This was Ohio's year, but just know next year Buffalo coming for blood. I'm letting it be known here.
So you guys did get to take a trip out to the NIT, and you guys play a couple games out there. What was that like?
It was a fun experience to be in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Playing basketball, like it's always fun to play basketball. It's a blessing, but I feel like as a team we wasn't as locked in. We felt like we should have been in the tournament, so like it wasn't. Our results weren't what we wanted it to be. Yeah.
After the season, then you obviously get the award. As I said earlier, you get all second team for the MAC. Take us through that. Like, what was it knowing that you're part of that and you really got that award?
I really wasn't too happy with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I won the first team, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't play for awards. I play to make the NBA. That's what I'm trying to do. So I mean, it don't matter. We just gonna get back in the gym, work harder, and next year they'll see.
So the offseason's already began now. What do you want to work on? You got about 6, 7 months, whatever it looks like exactly, of grinding and getting ready for your senior campaign. What's the biggest things you're working on?
I'm working on, like last year, everything. I'm just gonna tighten up everything. Just go back in the lab, watch a lot of film on myself, and figure out the things, my weaknesses that I need to get better at. You know, it's a lot of things I feel like I gotta get better at. Shots on the move, my right hand some more. I gotta keep going on that. My handle can be more tighter, better. You know, shooting. I'm just gonna go back in the lab and do what I did last year. Just working silent, and the work will show when the time comes.
18-7-2 last year. What's the next jump? What can we expect for you number wise for next year?
I ain't gonna say, you know, I ain't even gonna say. I don't know. I don't know yet. You know, that's God. That's God work. We just gonna see when the time comes.
No doubt, man. Well, a few more things I want before I let you go. One of which is discussing this team overall. You've been now part of 3 different teams. Well, who's been the funniest guy? There's always that guy in the locker room that we know is the funniest guy. Who's the funniest guy in your locker room so far in your college career?
Rondo. Ronaldo's been the funniest guy since he walked in, though. I ain't gonna lie. But my man Lucas might got him. He up there with him. Pico, we call him. You know, he up there with him. He a funny guy as well. We got a good character team. You know, some good guys on the team. You know.
Now, what's the funniest memory you have? Like a certain thing that happened rather on the road, on campus? Like, what's the funniest thing that's happened so far in your first 3 years?
Dang, it's so much. Oh no, I got one. This just hold up. This just happened though. This just happened like a couple weeks ago. So we in the locker room fooling around and you know, guys being guys. So Rondo and Lucas was wrestling and he picked Lucas up with one arm. Rondo picked Lucas up with one arm, and that was just hilarious. You know, we caught it on video. It was funny. It was something I'll never forget. It was just a hilarious moment. You had to be there to see it.
And so far in all your basketball games you played so far, what would you say has been your favorite game?
Akron in the MAC tournament. That was a really fun game. Like that was like it was just fun to see all our guys play at a high level. You know what I'm saying? Because it like guys has been in slumps and stuff like that, and it was fun to see like Rondo hitting shots, Josh doing his thing, the Quill doing his thing, Graves dunking, all that doing his thing. It was just fun to see the team out there just having fun, like really having fun in a close game. Like it was an overtime game, so that was always fun.
Absolutely. Well, a couple of things I like wrapping up before I let you go with, one of which is discussing your legacy. I know that all guys want to create that legacy for themselves. So when you do walk away from the game of basketball someday, what do you ultimately want to be remembered for what you achieved both on and off the court?
I just want to be remembered as a good teammate, a guy that worked hard, you know what I'm saying, and just a really, really good player. I'm not trying to chase no Michael Jordan, none of that. I just want to be a good player. NBA, I want to go to the NBA, play professional for a long time, and be done. And I'll still be around the game when I'm done, though. Yeah.
In your Instagram bio, you also have FSB. Take us through that name and why that's there.
That's Forbes Slum, baby. That's like where I'm from, my neighborhood. Yeah, me and my friends. That's what we go by. We came from Forbes, you know. We was messed up. We didn't have nothing, so we were slum babies, and now we finna be millionaires.
Without a doubt. And then being a believer, kind of take us through this, because I know God's always going to impact people's lives in different ways, but where have you seen God really show up in your life the biggest so far?
Like maybe when I was a kid, like a young kid, because I used to get in a lot of trouble when I was younger.
Mm.
You know, like all the time, I used to get in fights, stuff like that. And like really, I like when I started hooping, I felt like God just like put, because I used to pray. Like, I used to pray every day. Like I wanted to stop fighting. I wanted to stop getting in trouble. And like really, God like just like when I found basketball, I swear like I just stopped getting in trouble. Like it was like that was the safe haven for me. Like I used to just be in the rec center, minding my business, just shooting around, working on my game every day, playing pickup, and I just stopped getting in trouble. I got in trouble here and there, but it wasn't like how it was. It was like at a consistent rate back then. So that's when I kind of seen. And then like just seeing my prayers come true. Like I always prayed to be like a D1 player, you know, all my blessings, I've been blessed, you know. Like that's really I've been seeing God.
I know there's always that point where you kind of that turning point where you really start having that true bond with God, where it's truly just you and God and you have that own personal connection. When would you say was that turning
Right.
point for you? Like when did you truly feel that connection with God?
Um, kind of like, oh no, I almost lost my life in a car accident.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when that happened, you know, I kind of was like, dang, like, you know, that was a big thing. When I was a kid, that happened. So like I don't know, like I always been going to church since I was a kid, and like my grandma always speak about Jesus and how to pray and stuff like that. Like my family is big on that. So
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like I just always believed in God. Like it just was something I believed in since I was a kid. You know, like just being raised in it, you know, like that's just something I always believe.
And obviously you're gonna have a larger and larger profile, obviously growing in college and then next level, if that's NBA overseas, like whatever that overall professional career looks like for you. How do you plan
Right.
to spread God's word and be his light in the world?
I just feel like I can put a smile on anybody's face. And
Mm-hmm.
not only that, I feel like I'm a good soul. Like I give somebody my last. I don't like, you know, I just feel like I can bless people. I feel like my position in this is to bless people, make people laugh, make people smile, just brighten people's day. I feel like
And you mentioned the car accident. Kind of take us through that and how you really were to come back from that, and also just how you saw God work through you during that time.
um like it was a horrific scene, you know. It was just like we got hit head on. I don't really remember too much. It was I just remember how it started. Like we just were driving. I was coming from Georgia because my family live in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Like my dad's side was coming from Georgia, and then we just got hit head on. It was a drunk driver. Boom. And then split my liver, and I was just out. Some junk happened to my neck. My neck was messed up. I just was out for like 2-3 weeks. I was in the hospital, and then like you know, I just my family would come. I remember them like holding my hand and praying stuff like that, and I just gradually got better. I couldn't hoop. I couldn't hoop for like 2 months though, because I split my liver. So I had to just wait and wait, and then I got better though.
So at that point, would you say God was a really strong relationship with you at that point, or was that kind of point where you got closer to Him? Like, where was your faith in terms of that at that point in time?
Closer. That was like more closer. That made me closer. Like dang, like God really is really real. Like that. Like you know, like being raised in like you think God real, but like you
Yep.
never really had a point in your life where you was like, oh snap, like and that was that point. Like that was the point where it was like, yeah, God is real. I could have been dead.
Amen, man. Well, my final thing for you, yeah, at least one more year. Obviously, you could potentially have the extra if you choose to use after the year, but your senior is
Yeah.
upcoming now. What do you want to remember for? Like, what's the three biggest things and your three biggest goals you have set for the remainder of your Buffalo career?
A dog. I'm a dog always, wherever I play at.
Mhm.
Like I said, a hard worker and just a good guy, you know. I'm a good guy, you know. That's the last thing. A good guy, a guy that you can count on in any situation.
Without a doubt, man. Well, I definitely appreciate taking time to come on today, and I can't see what God got next for you, man.
Yep, appreciate you.
Of course, always welcome on, man. God bless.
Yep.